startups, right? So there, the chips to startup facility is going to start, and that will be going to be executed in the next 5 years. Okay, and there is also plan that 85,000 manpower should be trained in the domain of VLSI design. Okay, because the government has already announced this so much of package, so new companies will emerge, there will be requirement of manpower, so there will be a lot of opportunity in terms of job point of view for all BTech and MTech students. So 85,000 manpower they want to build, especially in the field of semiconductor industry. But as you might be aware that in the, if you're going into the software industry, there is a lot of demand in AI and data management and data cloud, all those things, right? So similarly, there is a huge demand nowadays related to the hardware industry, that is the semiconductor industry, where you will get good opportunities. I know there are some of my friends are working in the semiconductor industries, and they are getting very good packages as compared to the software industries. Okay, so my friends are working in the Intel, they are working in the Global Foundry, IBM, and so etc. and etc. Right. So for that we need to you have to equip yourself in the field of electronics, especially related to the digital integrated circuit, and you might be learning the analog integrated circuits in the next semester. Okay, so these are the basic subjects that will helpful for if you are appearing in the interview process related to the particular company, especially VLSI design. So I'll suggest please register for this event, the vaporization workshop in nanofabrication technology. So you'll get a glimpse that how many different things are required for fabrication, how many different equipments are available in the IIT Bombay. Okay, where this CMOS fabrication facility is there, what is the facilities there, how it can be utilized, and if you have an innovative design in your mind in future, how we are going to fabricate, all those things detail will be there. So this is a program that is called the INUP, Indian Nano User Program, and this program is run by ISC Bangalore and IIT Bombay. So it is running from the last 2 decades, okay, that you can see, and it is supported by the MIT. Okay, and there are some centers in the IIT Delhi, IIT Guwahati, IIT Kharagpur, and IIT Madras. Okay, they are also going to be so please visit this site regularly, so that you will get the idea, okay, what the upcoming things related to the nano fabrication technologies. Okay, so in general, these are the, there are 2 levels of workshop. Basically, first workshop is the familiarization workshop, they will get familiarization, and if you have like in kind of any project that you want to fabricate that, for that, like I'm talking about the project work, so those are interested in the project work also, they will also support, they will also ask to visit their lab and their design to be fabricated. Suppose also you are coming with the innovative design with some kind of sensor that is not available in the market, or if it is some, let's say you are making some environmental sensor based on the CMOS technology. Okay, and environmental sensor is much accurate and much better than the what is available in the product form in the market, right? So that idea and there for that idea you need to understand what is the fabrication how one sensor can be fabricated using the CMOS standard process flow, what are the steps are required, how we can design the thing, all those are be covered in the workshop, right? So I'll suggest please go through, most of the student will go through it. The registered deadline was just missed, I think, at 5 January. If the portal is still open, you can please try to register. Okay, because one some of my MTech student they are already registered, and they got confirmation also that they will going to be shortlisted for the event, and they will attend the workshop. Okay, to get more detail about the CMOS fabrication technologies. Okay, so government is supporting nowadays and lot of opportunities, so please make your mind in this direction. If you are want to pursue your careers in this field, so choose your research project also in this direction only, right? So that it will be helpful for your career. Okay, now I'll go to the CMOS fabrication process. That is the thing that is the topic of our syllabus, that we required what is the flow of that. So before going into the detail, just I'll make a diagram. Yesterday I tried to make a diagram, but may not be, it will be clear. So that is why I kept it in a slide with color combination that you can see. That initially there are the p substrate, okay, and in the p substrate we can make only the NMOS transistors, right? So that is why we required and this process, ion implantation or diffusion process. From that only there are two process of doping. You can say N plus is nothing but a process of doping, and process of doping can be only by two methods. One is called diffusion method and one is called the ion implantation method. So these are just a methods, two methods, okay. No need to go into details, okay. So from that method you can prepare the N plus region, okay. But if you want to make a PMOS transistors, so in that case you need to form a N well first, okay, because the P plus has to be over the N plus. We cannot directly make a P plus, right? Because the substrate should be of opposite type is of the channel, because in the channel works in the inversion concept. So if the substrate is P type, then the channel will be inverted, and because of the inversion only we called it the channel is N channel device. And similarly for the N well is there, if it is inverted by using the concept of gate operating voltage making the inversion, so that is why it will make a P type device, right? So these are the different contacts are there, okay. And where the body contact will take place, these are the, this is about the source of the PMOS, drain of the PMOS, okay, and then the gate of the PMOS, and this is the gate of the NMOS, right? Similarly there are body contact also, where the body contacts are will be placed. So in case of a PMOS, the body contact is N plus, okay. Why we required N plus contact here? Because when you make a contact with the semiconductor with any metal, if the doping concentration of the particular region is high, then it will give a very low contact resistance, okay. So if we contact anything on the low doped semiconductor, what will happen? Because it is not a perfect semiconductor, perfect conductor. So high doped semiconductor is nothing but it is moving towards more conductor, right? So then the contact resistance difference between the metal and semiconductor will be less, and if the contact resistance is less, there will be no drop in the current in that particular interface, okay. So that is why in interface in fabrication point of view, we need to think out also that which kind of metal has to be used for the contact, okay. Which type of doping concentration is there? If doping concentration is P type, then which kind of metal has to be used? Or if doping concentration is N type, then which kind of metal has to be used, okay. This has to be clarified in advance. And also for making a gate electrode, as we discussed yesterday, what was the metal used for making a gate terminal, gate metal?
Polysilicon.
Yes, polysilicon, right. So that polysilicon is especially used for the gate, not for the source and drain. Source and drain, we can use another metal like aluminum, that is low cost in, and it is easily available, right? So also the metal has to be chosen in that way that it should be a cost effective in manner. So that is why overall fabrication cost of the chip will be goes down, okay. So for the CMOS fabrication, basically CMOS transistors are fabricated on the silicon wafers. That is important point. So what is silicon wafer? Silicon wafer is nothing but a circular shape 4-inch wafer, right? So that is size in the diameter. They are in the diameter in the range of 200 to 300 mm. Okay. So inside the uh, uh, wafer only, we all fabricate these things. We fabricate this small so in small chips. So from the one silicon wafer we can have, let's say, 100 number of chips are coming, okay. And chips are generally in the watering in the basically square shape, right? It is a rectangle shape chips, but this silicon wafer are the and the circular in shape. So all the billions of transistors can be prepared on the silicon wafer, and silicon wafer are easily available in the market. And can you know from where the silicon wafer has been derived, from where it is coming in the from the environment? Any
Sand.
idea? Yes. Hello.
Sand.
Sand, right? It is coming from the sand only. So it is silicon is the nothing but purest form of the sand, right? And from the silicon only we are making all the different electronic gadget. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So it is nothing but we are converting one energy to another energy. Like we are converting the sand into the reality, right? So it is just a conversion from one part of energy to another part of energy, nothing but intellectual is required to how to convert some part of energy that is available in the environment to another energy, useful energy, so that the society can be benefited out of it. Okay, so we can say in single line we are using nothing but what we are using our sands in our computers and laptops. That's it. Okay, so but in between that there are lot of processes are involved for fabrication. It is not very easy process. So the most important process in CMOS fabrication is called the lithography process. Okay, lithography process, it is almost similar to the printing process. So how the uh, printer works, basically how the 3D printers are nowadays, it is very common, right? So how in the 3D printer, what is required? That just the design has to be loaded. If the design is loaded, the machine will start working and printing different sections. So right. So similar to that, like if you are printing a newspaper, also in the newspaper should be some design first. There should be some small news should be there. The bigger news should be highlighted, and a smaller news has to be cut down in the some uh, all is nothing but design. So if the design is ready, printing is very easy, right? You might be aware of that. So similarly, if here also, if the design is ready for the CMOS integrated circuit design, there is a lithography process will take care about the fabrication, right? So on each step, different materials are deposited or patterned or etched. Okay, so these are the technical terms: deposited word, patterned word, or etched word, right? So these are being a technical word. So like if you want to deposit polysilicon, so that is called a deposited. But what is the size is required, then it is the patterned. Okay, and then if it is unuseful polysilicon is there, then we need to etch it. Okay, so that these are the basic fundamentals related to the CMOS fabrication. Easiest way to understand by viewing both the top and cross section of the wafer is simplified manufacturing process, nothing but. Okay, so our fabrication process is nothing but, you can see, seeing the top and cross section, right? We're talking about the top view and cross section. So if you see, this is nothing, if you see like this, okay, this is one diagram. So in similar pattern only, all the manufacturing process will be take place. So this is a nothing but a cross section. Okay, so yes, so this is inverter cross section. You can say CMOS inverter cross section. Okay, and you can say how many different layers are involved in the inverter cross section. You can see here. And MOS transistors, we have the ground terminal is connected. Okay, and then the A is nothing but a polysilicon, right? Both the sides polysilicon. Y is our output terminal, right? Y is our output of the CMOS inverter, right? And A is your input of the CMOS inverter, right? Okay, so here you can see what are the different layers are involved. Okay, because these different layers will decides the layout, as well as it will decides the CMOS fabrication process. Okay, so typically use P substrate for NMOS transistors, as you know that, and required N well for body for a PMOS transistor. That is why important. So that is why if you classify the in the inverter cross section, there are different layer: SiO2 layer, there is a N diffusion layer, there is a P diffusion layer, there is a polysilicon layer, and then metal tray, right? So these are the you can see different layers are involved. Okay, in the cross section. So how to make it basically? because they need to make it in the steps. Okay, first let's say we prepare the SiO2 layer, then we prepare the gate layer, and then we prepared for source drain layer, then there will be contact. So each step is there. I'm going to cover in each step. So for that, if you see the top view, I'm talking about the top view of the CMOS transistor, how it will look like. Okay, if you classify in this stake, you can see these are the top view. These are the important points we need to note down. Okay, where all the connections can be made. Okay, it seems like a part of integrated circuit. So cross section taken along with the dashed line. Okay, so you can see this is complete. It is derived from this particular point, and you can see this is nothing but what, this is what point. If anybody noticed, what is this point? What we can say? This is,
Input.
yeah, input, right? This is the gate, right? Okay. Similarly, this is what point? This is the, these are nothing but the source, and this is the drain, and this is the drain, right? So this is the drain terminal contact, and this blue line is basically connecting the with another metal. You can say that the black one is one metal, and this is black one is another metal, and that is connected by the another metal that is in the blue line, right? This is the connecting terminal, and this can be denoted as your output, right? And similarly, the metals, all the connections has to be made with the VDD. So VDD will be connected with the metal strip. Okay. So power supply will directly apply to the metal strip. So we cannot put various power supply at various locations. For the only chip, there will be one power supply only, right? So if the connection is taken, IC is taken out, so there will be only one pin to apply the power supply, right? Similarly, there will be one pin only for the ground. There should not be multiple voltage source. There may be possibility based on the design. It may be a plus voltage or minus voltage, but generally in the CMOS integrated circuit, we have only one power supply, VDD. Okay, so this is the different mask set classify for the fabrication technology. So for the fabrication technology, we need to prepare a mask, right? Because it is related with the lithography process. So first we need to understand how many different masks we need to design. Okay, this is in the designer hand. Okay, and all the size and all the things should be decided by the designer only. Okay, so there are some softwares also that will allow you to make a mask or design. So mask is used for the lithography process basically, so that our actual fabrication will take place. So we have from this particular bigger diagram of a CMOS inverter, we have to classify the steps. Okay, suppose we want to make a N well. So which is the mask will be useful? Okay, where if you want to make a polysilicon, which mask will be useful? Okay, so for N plus diffusion, which mask will be useful? Because based on the position, P diffusion and the contact and the metal. So these are the different, you can say, points, different 6 mask layer. That is why it is called different six mask process. So N well, poly diffusion, N plus diffusion, P diffusion, contact, and metal. So these are the important mask layer for the fabrication of the technology, and that is derived from the previous diagram, this diagram. Okay. So any question up to this point? It is just a extraction, right? It is just a extraction from the different points. You have to just note down where it is located according the exact same replica has been represented here. You can correlate with the polysilicon diagram. This polysilicon here, it is seems like a black line, right? Here also it is, because it will form a gate here and it is gate here, and both gates are connected together. Okay, so now we will start fabrication step. If you have the mask ready with you, then you are eligible for going onto the fabrication steps one by one. So it will start with the blank wafer. Okay, typically P-type wafer where N mask is created. So we have selected P-type substrate. then build inverter from the bottom up approach. That is called a bottom up approach. Okay, P substrate, it will be at the bottom, and we are depositing all the layers one by one from the top. Okay, so first step will be form a N well, okay, where the PMOS resides. So first step will be we need to form a PMOS. Okay, so how to make a N well? So for N well, cover the wafer with the protective layer of SiO2. Okay, we cannot directly deposit N well here. So first we need to uh, uh, deposit a protective layer, because we want that N well should be in particular region, not in the all the region, right? It should be at the particular place only. So then remove the oxide where N well should be built, okay, and then implant the diffuse and N dopant into the exposed wafer to form a N well, and strip of SiO2. These are the 4 steps. You can say this is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. These are the 4-step process to form a N well. Okay, I'll show with the diagram. Okay, this is the step 1, that is called grow SiO2 on the top of the SiO2 wafer. How it will take? It will take 900 to 1200 degrees centigrade, and we required H2 or O2 oxidation furnace. We required a high temperature process where silicon will interact with the oxygen, and they'll create SiO2 layer. Simple. Okay, because it is a silicon dioxide coming from the silicon only. So it was very easy to prepare SiO2 with the temperature in the furnace. We need to keep our wafer in the furnace that will maintain the temperature of 900 to 1200 degrees centigrade. Okay, that is why it is not made in the common lab. Okay, we require a specialized lab and specialized equipments for that. Okay, then what we need to do? We need to apply a photoresist. Okay, so spin on the photoresist. Photoresist, what is photoresist? Resistor is a light sensitive organic polymer. It is a organic polymer that is on the light sensitive. It and basically it used UV lights. Okay, so properly changes were exposed to the light. Okay, the property changes were exposed to the light. Two type of photoresist is there, positive and negative. Okay, the positive photoresistors can be removed if exposed to UV light. But what is the difference between the photoresist? Okay, positive resistors can be removed if light is exposed, and negative resistors cannot be removed if UV lights, ultraviolet lights is exposed. So that is the difference. So uh, this photoresistance is required because we need to select the some section, this kind of section, to form a N well. So that is why if you provide a light, okay, ultraviolet light, so it will remove the photoresist layer as well as SiO2 layer here. So you can see we need apply a mask of which dimension we need to form an N well. Okay, how much dimensions we need. So expose, that is called part of lithography process. Yeah, the photoresist application, and then its removal, it's part of lithography. Okay, so lithography contains, it's, you can say, deposition as well as patterning as well as photoresist process. So you can see the expose the photoresist to the ultraviolet lights, okay, through the N well mask. Okay, so N well, this is the N well mask here. Okay, and this N well mask will be placed here, and the strip of the exposed photoresist with the chemicals. Okay, so for the removal of the photoresist is possible with the chemical. Okay, so earlier what we have done, we have deposited the whole layer photoresist, and then using the mask we remove the photoresist in this layer. So we remove the photoresist in this layer by using the UV lights. Okay, as I told, positive UV. So if positive UV is there, if you it will remove the mask in this particular region, right? And then if we do the etching process, okay, when we etching process, so each oxide with hydrofluoric acid. So once this region has been created, we need to etch the SiO2. Earlier you can see there is SiO2 is present, okay, with the lithography process, but we need to etch out this SiO2 so that we can find a gap, so that we end diffusion can be taken place. So this is the removal of the SiO2 layer. Okay, so if we remove, that process is called etching or removing, and that can be done using the some chemicals only. So a lot of physics and chemical concept is applied here. Okay, so you'll get more details about what kind of chemicals are required and what is not required. Okay, what is the do's and don'ts, all those things will be discussed during when you attend this kind of fabrication technologies related workshops, okay, from the IITs. So okay, so only attacked oxide where resist has been exposed. So N-well pattern is transformed from the mass to silicon dioxide interface, creates an opening for the silicon surface. That is we are talking about. Okay, so we'll go to next step. So first, strip of the remaining photoresist. So still there are some photoresist is there. Okay, it is not completely removed from the all the sides because it is applied at all the top layer. So you can remove these remaining photoresist. Okay, so necessary to resist doesn't melt in the next step. Okay, so it is very necessary to remove the photoresist. Okay, and then if you photoresistors had been removed from the all the parts of the corners, then we form a N-well. Okay, so N-well is formed with diffusion or ion implantation. Okay, so there's a, as I told, there are two ways of doping. These are the two doping process. Okay, so we'll get to more about the different process because it's not in the your syllabus. You get more details about the different process, how it works, what is the mechanism behind that. So one use high energy field is required for the doping, and one required a high temperature process. Okay, so all these things are required. Okay, because once you visit the lab also, then you will able to correlate the things very. So now we are going into very theoretical, but once you go into the lab and see the things, then it will be very clear. Okay, so in short we can say diffusion is a place wafer in the furnace with arsenic rich gas and heat until AS atoms diffuse into exposed Si, because arsenic is a uh, 3 element and 5 element. For doping, let's say we are going to prepare N
Three.
plus, yeah, 3 arsenic. And what about boron?
3 elements.
What about 3? And arsenic is fifth group, right?
Five.
Fifth group, right? That is why you are preparing a N region or N doping. Okay, fifth group element is, so all your concept what we have studied in 11th and 12th related to chemistry will be applicable here, right? So this is the real practice or real practical, you can say. So second method is as I told, ion implantation. So the both are doping process. The difference is that it will placed in a furnace with rich arsenic, but in ion implantation process, blast wafer with beam of arsenic ions. Okay, so ions blocked by SiO2 only enters into the exposed Si. So there is a, this is nothing but is called a high energy process. This is called a high energy process where a very high electric field is required and a beam of arsenic is required. Okay, compared to the ion implementation. That is why it is called the high energy process, and the second one is called the high temperature process. It is called heat is there. Okay, diffusion process. So we generally in we are making mask we called N-well. Okay, so SiO2 shields are mask area which remain the p-type. Okay, so the remaining area will not be get affected. Okay, so only the selected area will have the N-well formation. So you can see that is for making a one portion only we required a 4-step process. Okay, so we have done only forming a N-well in a P substrate. That's it. So then we go for the next one. So what will be the next process? What will be the next process? Next process is there is some oxide layer here. So we have to remove this oxide layer. SiO2 layer, earlier it was deposited in all the regions. So strip of the remaining oxide with HF. Okay, that is called hydrofluoric chemicals is there. Okay. So then back to bare wafer with NWEL. Okay, and subsequent steps involve similar series of steps. So forming a NWEL, we have seen basically deposition of SOI2. Then we have some UV exposure, and then UV exposure, then the etching process is there, then we have a diffusion process there. So all similar process will be applicable in the further subsequent stages. Let's say now next step is to deposit a polysilicon. Okay, so what we have to done, so we have to do a polysilicon deposition on the all the area, because it is only in one wafer. We cannot choose to deposit in some selected area. So better is to deposit in all the area and then remove it the unwanted portions. Okay, so you can say the deposit is very thin layer of gate oxide first. Okay, this is again we required SiO2 layer to be deposited before the gate, so that it will make a MOSFET, right? So oxide layer is very important. So once the NWEL is there, above NWEL, what is the size of SiO2 layer has to be deposited, then we need to etch back. Suppose we need to deposit 20 nanometer, then in a fabrication process it may be possible that it will be deposited at 30 nanometer. Okay, and then this is very we need to measure what is the things has been deposited. So measurement techniques are there, and after that if you measure that it is 30 nanometer, then we need to remove it 10 nanometer. Okay, by the again etching process. Okay, so these things are not shown here, but it is required. So what is the process for deposition of polysilicon is mentioned here, is that chemical vapor deposition, that is called a chemical vapor deposition technique, CVD, of silicon layer. Okay, so place wafer with a furnace with silane gas. Okay, and then form many crystals called polysilicon and heavily doped to make a good. So we need to form a basically deposit the crystals of polysilicon, and that should be heavily doped to make a good conductor, because we are using this polysilicon as a metal. So it has to be a good conductor, and for making a good conductor, you know that we need to dope it very high. Okay, and how our mask was there, where the mask should be placed like this. We use the same lithography process discussed earlier to pattern the polysilicon. This same process will be used to pattern the polysilicon. Okay, so there are multiple layers are involved, photoresist, and then chemical etching. All those things will be repeated again to form a, because we want gate should be in this region only, not at the another place. So first we deposit it all, and we can by putting the mask we can remove the remaining portion. Okay. So this way it's called the self-aligned process. Okay, just I'm going through the one by one. If the gate is prepared now we'll go for making a N diffusion and our ion implantation process for making a N plus region. So this you can go through the slides. So where we want to make N plus region again. So again we need to utilize a similar process step that was used in the NWEL. So here we also require NWEL. So all the three NWEL should be created in one shot, not at the different, right? Similarly, two gates has to be prepared in the one shot, not one gate prepared and second gate prepared, because it is a process. So if you do like that, one by one, then what will happen? It will take more number of steps. Okay, so for making a less number of steps, all the parallel things can be done in the same time. Okay, then strip of the oxide to complete the patterning steps. Okay, then P diffusion. Come to the P diffusion, we have derived the mask where the P diffusion should be taken place at the three places again for making a P region, and one is body region. Right, this is the body region for NMOS, and this is for the PMOS. Right, so that is why mask is important. And then once all the contact has been prepared, so we require that region has to be placed with the proper metal. Okay, and then that is called contact formation. So these are the contact formations, and that these are the various contacts are required. So this is the source and this is drain, right? And the body, sorry, this is this is source drain. Okay, and this is the body contact, and this is again source and drain, sorry, drain and source. Then this is body contact. So how many contacts are required total? Because you know that is a 4-terminal device, right? So gate we have already prepared 2 terminals. Okay, because it is combination of NMOS and PMOS. So how many total terminals will be there? How many total contacts should be there? 8 contacts, right? 4 for the NMOS and 4 for the PMOS. So gate we have already prepared. So these are the 6 different contacts, 6 contacts, right? So, and then after that, that contact should be placed together if you are making a CMOS inverter, because for the making a CMOS inverter, we need to combine both the contacts together. So where the connections are required has to be done with the metallization process using the aluminum. Okay, sputtering over the aluminum, or copper is used for newer technology. Some cases copper has been also used, because you know that copper is more conductive than the aluminum, but advantage of aluminum is that it is a low cost as compared to the copper. So as per the requirement of the integrated circuit, it may be whichever metal is required, it can be utilized. So then pattern to remove the excess metal and leaving wires. Okay, so if first it has to be deposited at all the layers, and then where it is not required, suppose here it is not required because it is already contact. Okay, so here it is not required, so it has to be removed back. So this is you can say complete CMOS fabrication steps. So up to this point you can able to make a CMOS. Okay, so you know that these are the very complex process, and it required a lot of efforts and lot of special environment. And you can say for making a complete CMOS, if we are making a CMOS complete, so if you go to the Wikipedia, just write CMOS fabrication. Okay, then you can see there is some animation. I'm going to yeah, this is the complete. You can see that the detailed process is given. So how many number of processes there is given total. So it will require around 12 process to complete the CMOS inverter only. Okay, so you can see this. There are 12 process, 1 to 12, total 12 process to make it. So what we have discussed, it consists of all the 12 process during the discussion. Okay, so before going into the end of my class, I will show this one small video. Okay, so how it basically how the Intel will fabricate the video, right? I think so. How the fabrication lab will be there and how they prepared these things. Okay, so there are a lot of videos are there. Okay, you can go it. Just I'll make it this video. Okay. Let me know it is audible to you or not.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
So, how they prepared the silicon wafer. Is it audible, students? Is it visible or not?
Yes.
Yes. Just it is showing that how sand be converted into the silicon wafer. Yeah, this is the one silicon wafer. this you can see is a form of 3D integrated circuits. These are the glimpse of 3D integrated circuits. Yes, all the chips are taken out after CMOS fabrication. Yeah, this is one chip they are taking out from the wafer. This is one chip, okay, and we can say Intel processor that is placed and packaged properly, and the packaged one has to be placed in the motherboard. This way Intel prepares their this is very short video, so hope you got it that how the sand is being converted into the electronic product. Just a small video, but there are many videos are there. If you go into the details of like how etching process will be taken place, implantation process will be taken there, so detailed video will be also there. Okay, you can go through it there. YouTube you'll find out, especially you find out related to Intel. Okay, so because Intel is a major player in the field of integrated circuits. Okay, so I am stop presenting here. The time is over now. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. If you have any questions, we can take it tomorrow. I think you have another class. Okay. So hope all have marked the attendance. So I'm going to close the attendance.
Sir, actually, I am not marked the attendance, sir.
Yeah, sir.
So mark it, na? Mark it fast. I'm open for two more minutes. Okay.